Hey guys, welcome back to another early waves on cryptos. It's been a week since last video and we're back again with BTC and what else? Every time I give these guys the option to vote Luna, it always wins. Like 40% of this group, 25k large or so, the Quora inner cycle team goes for Luna. So we're gonna have a quick look at BTC and Luna. Now before we start with the chart analysis, to remind you this is not investment advice, and also I want to introduce you, apart from the Telegram channel that I do run and you know about it, you can contact me of course about this in the about section, and nowhere else is my legit information. Access to my bots, okay. For that I cannot provide much information here, it will be a bit boring, but there is a way for you to access my long-term algos. I would say long-term because it's not something that it trades frequently, without any obligations pretty much and free. Okay, so hit me up if you want to know how you can do that, and we can both support one another one way or another. So let's jump to the charts, guys, and let's see where we're really heading, because we've had a couple of interesting sessions with a couple of big drops over the last week, with tensions escalating between Russia and Ukraine and the US, and with the Fed minutes coming out and being a non-event, and with even risk sentiment sort of being a bit confused around the Fed's plans. So let's jump to BTC first and then Luna, and I will try to keep this nice and short, since we've also got the blocked alternatives now, as one of my subscribers on YouTube calls. So let's do that. So here we are on BTC, guys, and nothing really changed since last time. I don't remember what top I called, to be honest, but I remember calling the 4070 or something, which came in like maybe a few hours after the last analysis, so maybe even before I posted the video. But I remember talking about 46 or 47 or something, because it just makes sense, right? I think it was 47. We're talking about the 50 retracement, that we had to stay below that level. Now, here's the thing. There is a lot of assumptions we can make here, right? But we've got to give the market the respect it deserves and go with what it gives us, okay? So here's the scenario. This is the main scenario. And I know I'm not really a good friend with ending diagonal, the open type, okay? But here's the situation here. You've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That looks like ABC. That looks like ABC. And I do not like how this looks like, because it's not a first wave. Okay, this is certainly not a 1 and a 2 for a flat. Certainly there is no B here. And if you see that here, ask the analyst that it does it. Why do you have this there? That violates the rules. Anyway, the reason I have this as WX and Y, and my first is because of this short-term hiccup, let's just call it. Okay, so WX and Y, it looks like to me we're done. As long as we are below then that level, we remain bearish. As long as we are above that level though, we can also remain bullish. Okay, because without breaking that low, it means that we can stop here and go the way up. So right now we are in a territory where this is the decision time, okay? And we're going to have fairly soon, I think, some more info. Unless if we start seeing prices fluctuating here without getting a breakout. Now, assuming this is in, I'm going to show you the short term later. We go down A, B, and C. Okay, that's going to be my low in, and from there, well, it's up. Apart from that, we can also have an expanded variation of this flat, which means the internal structure all of it, this is a wave 3. So we're gonna really get a correction down for 3, 4, and 5. But I want to tell you something here. It's not really, I mean, we stopped at 70%, but it's not really necessary that this is my wave 2 and we're going down. Okay? It's not necessary. What we could see is something like this. We could see something like this, and my wave B, my wave 2 might come up here, right? And then we'll go lower down, because usually what happens, especially after this correction in wave 2 was like not deep at all, we might see the internal wave 2 doing a decent correction, especially in a moment where people don't know which way we're going to go. There's no clear structure. This is where the corrections, wave 2, wave B, and all that stuff can become a bit tricky and deep, you know, make you think that there is conviction into one direction, but there isn't. So that's the second alternative, the first alternative. The other one would be that the one I don't like, and then you got ABC will go 3, 4, and 5. These guys, the probabilities of these happening are going to increase a lot if we go down to around 39K and we get a rejection. That is going to increase the chances, right? That means that our 4 is going to be here. That's going to be a simple ABC, and we go up, okay? And up that is. And that up can be, by the way, wave A or 1 and B or 2, okay? Don't forget. And this is where we'll come to this, okay? Because it might be a triangle. And if it is a triangle over here, okay, this is ABC. We're going to get ABC, ABC, ABC. Then in this particular case, we're going to have a W, X, and Y instead. Or it could also be a flat, which means again we'll have A, B, C all the way up here, and we're going to see 5 waves down, W, X, and Y again. And finally, have we ended up here? Is this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5? Is this my 4th wave? If yes, that is 1. And we're going to get a correction. Maybe we finished and we'll move lower down, or maybe we're going to see a deeper correction and we'll move down. Now, what usually happens, okay, is that the corrections meet. When we go down, we're going to have the 4 and the 2 come about right the same level. Okay, so 52K might be the case here, or maybe even 53 or so. If I recall correctly, there is some sort of CME gap around 53 something as well. So that might be interesting. But obviously, we need the 39K to hold, guys. It's very important. Okay, I'm not here to tell you what's right and what's wrong. I'm here to tell you what the probabilities are going into one direction or another. And for now, we're going down. Okay, to 39 next. That's the important level. Even if we don't go down there, because I don't like to speak definite terms, we're going down. The idea is that we go down there, okay, and then break or reject. If we break, chances of ending diagonal decrease. If we bounce, if we break, increase. If we bounce, decrease, and everything else comes into play. Okay. Now in the short term, and I'm going to go down on the 1 hour, of course, because a lot of people might wonder what is the count here. Well, I'm looking at an ABC here. I explained last time, this is not a wave B, a regular wave B, okay? So you've got WX flat and a Y up here in wave 4. Okay, this is what I'm looking. Now over here, you've got 1, 2, you've got 3, 4, and 5, and you've got an ABC, clear structures, okay? Clear structures, that's it. And then you've got an A and a flat in wave 2. Rules respected. And then that is an extended and impulsive wave 3. We've got a wave 4, perhaps, because maybe we get something like this, and that's going to be a triangle, and then we get the 5. But whatever case, if you look at it, the low, it's in. If not now, very soon. Okay, we have done a tick below the previous low, and that gives us the right to call this a low. Okay, but from an LOA perspective, if we look at this, this is probably 1 and 2 only. Okay, so either we're gonna get 3, 4, and 5, and then we'll start moving up at least for a correction, or we never know what's gonna happen, or there's gonna be something like 1, 2, 3, 4, something like this. This is gonna turn out into a triangle, or it's going to be A, B, and C for a flat, and we might even go up there and then move down, right? Now, if we look at this structure over here, we have a flat, right? So it makes sense that over here we're going to get an ABC, All right, so how can we get an ABC here? Can we even get an ABC? Well, it looks like to me that that is ABC and ABC, to be fair. So it looks like a flat as well. So not sure we would be looking at a flat, two flats in wave 2 and 4. I mean, it's not a rule, guys, it's a guideline. Everybody keeps repeating a rule of alternation. There is not a rule of alternation, it's a guideline. We could see two flats, it's very rare. But either way, my main point is this. The low is going to be fairly soon, if not in already. Okay, that is a short-term structure. Now let's go to Luna. Let's look at this. Let me go out a bit on the 4 hours and let me just look at the main. This is, guys, our main scenario. This is what we talked about last time, I think. Or maybe we were looking at an open diagonal. But after this drop, obviously, you know, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is a leading diagonal with an throw over in wave 5. We see that a leading diagonal coming in place here. And now we're currently, it looks like we are correcting. Okay, so the correction can be A, B, C, and we'll go up in B and then down. The correction can be a triangle and then C and then down. The correction can be a flat. We'll go down here, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then up and then down. So it could be anything. It cannot be anything but any of the corrections. So what this means is that we are very likely to stay into this territory for a bit longer. Okay, and I would even say a bit higher to than that territory. Now, usually, and if we take guidelines into mind, leading diagonals are correcting quite a bit, so we can go up to 80. Okay, and we're just at 50 now. So that might be a good indication of potential upside in the medium term. Does anything confirm that? Well, the 161 comes up to 70 if we fall down to 46. So we could see something like A, B, C. And from there, we're going to look at 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and 5. And 74, 75 is going to be our level, maybe even perhaps 80. And from there, unfortunately, I see more downside. Why? Because we get a motive wave down here, guys. Okay, we get a diagonal. So diagonal as the first wave means there is more coming as an ABC, right? And let's hope that's not one. Now the alternative, because most of you are interested, the alternative is that this is wave 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is 2. This is an extended 3, okay? And we're going to see an A, B, and C here. Again, we are still expecting a correction, right? But in this particular case, we're going to get wave 5, not wave C. Okay, what this means is that very likely this move to the downside is going to be shorter, okay? And it's not going to extend too much. Then we're going to see an upside for the correction in wave B, because this is supposedly to be wave A, right, and B. And from there, we're going to see prices decreasing lower down, right? So I know that makes sense. Okay, instead of A and B and C, guys, we have, yeah, we're going to get A here, B up here, and then C, which means we need to go down first, then up. Okay, but we're still also correcting in the short term, don't forget. Now, the other case I'm looking also is another alternative that, and I know this is the one that you probably most love, although it's not very likely, and I will explain why, is that this is an ABC and an ABC, and then you got another ABC here, right? And this is a correction, and you've got your leading diagonal here, nice and pretty. We're going to still get the correction that we expect anyway, because you expect this correction in either of the scenarios, and then we go high and high and high. What this means is that we're going to break 80. Okay, without breaking 80, I wouldn't consider this as an impulse to the upside. But we can get to 80 and go down. We will have to hold wave 1 top, okay, which is at 60. So in case we start moving higher and we fall, we want to stay above 60. If we don't stay above 60, very likely it's going to be an ABC and we'll go down. Otherwise, up and up it goes. However, guys, and don't forget our main, look at this. This is our 4, okay, in the internal structure. Our 4 in the external structure, which is the same degree as the correction we expect, is down at $3. Do you know what this means? I'm not saying we're getting there. It's highly unlikely, but at least even an accelerated move down to 22, guys, okay, it will still be considered as a shallow correction in wave 2. Okay, shallow correction. Best thing we can do, use the Fibo. Hello Fibo, come here. Where do we go? Where are we? Look at this. The 23 accelerated move, I repeat, is at 26. The 38, which is what we usually see in wave 2, between 38 and 62, and leaning towards the second cohort, like between 50 and 62. Actually, for wave 2 in cryptos, we go anywhere between 62 and 90, to be fair. But anyway, just keep the guidelines for Forex, and the 38 would be like the minimum here, guys, right? So, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. I see more downside, okay? The main point is this, but I think, you know, in the short term, we're going to stay in this territory with a low being in at, I mean, at 37, even no question that, you know, at some point it's inevitable. But we're just going to have to hold the 22 in case we see a dramatic fall, okay? Now, assuming also that's going to be, A will be equal to C, you know, if we do around the 50, let's say over here, around the 50% at 67, if we move all the way up there to B, look, my wave C will be equal to wave A around the 27, okay? Now, if we are lucky, without that meaning lucky, you know, like not going to see a less correction, it's just more accelerated move to the downside, and we'll go only up to 38, then it brings us to 24, which is closer to this top. So, I mean, the correction will tell us where we extend to. So pay attention to the potential medium-term upside. Use the Fibonacci tool to find the 100 Fibonacci percent target for wave C. That's going to be all for this week's video, guys. Take care, and as I said before, don't forget you can find me to get access in my Telegram channel and also in my bot. Take care, and we'll be here again probably in about a week's time.